All right, guys, before we jump into what you need to do to get your sleds ready for the winter, if you guys want to rent a snowmobile from us, we've partnered with UtahSnowmobileRental.com here in Utah. So if you guys are located here in Utah, go check it out. You can rent a mountain sled. We have some of the best terrain for snowmobiling in the world, so go check it out.
So this little plug right here is where you want your oil to be. So if you're just checking your Chaincase oil and not changing it, you'll just pull your plug right here, and you want the Chaincase oil to be right there at the bottom of the plug. And there's not any oil there, so it's a little bit low. And then if you're changing it, you come down here, and there is a drain plug. So there we go. We got our Chaincase oil drained. Now to fill your Chaincase, which we'll do after we put the drain plug back in, so we don't just dump it all in the bucket. But you pull this, it's easiest to pull this packing out from behind your exhaust to get it out of your way. And then you just take your screwdriver, blade screwdriver, and pop this little rubber grommet that is the breather. Carefully so you don't break wiring harnesses or tear your grommet. There we go. Just pull that out, hang it up out of your way for a second. When your oil is completely done draining, I'll take and put it back up in here. The drain plug back in. So you do not have to split the case to change your Chaincase oil. You can if you want to, but there's an easier way. Pour into it. Yeah, it'll be close to the whole bottle, if not the whole thing. Get a flashlight right here. And just pour slow so it doesn't find its way out the hole as you go.
Coming out yet?
Nope, not yet.
Like almost the whole bottle. It's the whole bottle.
Takes a minute for it to run down through the whole case because it's
cold.
Heavy oil. Well, it's heavy oil, so it moves slowly. So you can see the oil now. It's right below the bottom of that little sight plug. So if you just buy the Skidoo bottle, it's the perfect amount of gear oil. Put the upper plug back in. You don't have to be super tight, just snug. Remember to put the vent back on the Chaincase. So now this sled is ready to go. So usually whenever you're draining oil, you want to pull out the top plug first so that it vents and you get all the oil out. There's the oil. Want to come pour some oil for us again, Sam? 12 fluid ounces. So there's your oil capacity for the Chaincase. And now on these turbos, it's especially important to make sure that your Chaincase oil is good and that your chain tension is tight, because they put a lot of tension on those chain cases with all that horsepower. So you want to make sure that you don't blow up a Chaincase, because then you'll be walking home.
So why do guys change to a belt?
So there's ups and downs to the belt drive. We have a sled with a belt drive and we have chain driven sleds. The belt drive is less maintenance, and
In theory, you could carry
if
a
you
belt.
if you break your belt, it's a lot cheaper than if you destroy your chain drive.
How do they hold up with the turbo though?
Pretty good. That's the sled that we have is a 165. We bought it from Brett Rasmussen when I worked for Brett,
Yeah.
and it's a fun sled. I have blown a belt on it, but it was when I was towing out another sled,
Which is
towing out a Polaris, and hit a ditch and blew the belt drive. So
And mountain sleds aren't meant to tow things, guys.
no, they're not. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So we can see again our oil level is right there, bottom of the drain plug. So we're good to go. Go ahead and clean up the drain plug and screw it back in here. Go ahead and put the vent back in. Make sure the back seats completely.
Now, if you guys don't want to get your snowmobile ready, don't worry. We'll do that for you. So if you want to visit utahsnowmobilerentals.com, there's a link in the description below. We'll do that for you and get you guys set up for winter.
So this is all stuff too that you can check on the mountain if you're riding and you decide, oh, my belt feels a little bit loose, or I need to check my chain case tension. The tools that you need are all in the little cover on your sled. So now to check the chain case tension, what we want to do, we're going to lock the park brake. We're going to come over here and wiggle the clutch just a little bit. And we want just a little bit of play in that secondary clutch to be able to move it just a little. So we're going to go just a little bit tighter. It's pretty good. So we come around here to the adjuster, and there's a little pin that you have to remove, and then use that little T25. We're going to tighten it up just a little bit. We're coming back over here. We just went about 1/4 of a turn. We could even go just a little bit more. So we're going to go another 1/4 of a turn. So we've got about 1/2 in all.
Cole, like when you're, like, what are you testing? Like the slop in the
So you're
secondary?
testing the slop in, it's the slop in your chain case, but you can feel it from your secondary clutch if you lock the park brake. So you lock
that's
the park
the key.
brake, and now I have just very little slop in my secondary clutch, and you want a little bit because you don't want to be too tight, but you want it to be snug. So you want to have just a little bit of slop, and then we'll go ahead and slip the pin back in here. So this belt, we've got a little bit of more slop than we'd like. So we do what we did on the other side, pull out the little pin, come right here, we'll go about 1/4 of a turn. Come back over here. It's pretty good. You don't want to go too tight, but you do want to be snug so that, again, you don't blow your chain case apart. Which, as lots of people know, was kind of a problem with these. Put the pin back in here.
Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, hit us up in the comments below. We will be doing a bunch more video content around snowmobiling. We got Cole here who is going to do some really fun stuff. We got a lot of good content. So we got some comparisons. We got how-tos all around snowmobiling, so you guys don't want to miss that. So stay tuned this winter.